Our podcast is brought to you by Mouse World Travel. Imagine going on the most stress-free, well-planned Disney vacation of your life. Now imagine you didn't pay anything extra for that personalized service. That's what you'll get when you use an authorized travel planner from Mouse World Travel to book your next Disney vacation. From resorts to cruises and everything in between, they are here to help you get the most out of your next family trip. Just go to mouseworldtravel.com, fill out a short request form, and make sure you mention our code Ropedrop so they know that we sent you. And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
And we're back to our normal sound quality.
You don't get the echoey room this week. You're welcome.
Which means, well, in theory, it means we're feeling better.
I'm feeling better. Erin is not so much 100% yet, but...
I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I'm like 92%.
I guess that's all right. 92. I feel like that's me on a non-sick day. 92%. That's my max.
Okay, fine. When you put it that way, I'm probably like 82%. I don't know. I still have the raspy voice.
Yeah, she's a little stuffy.
And I'm still a little stuffy, and I have a little cough still. But I'm good. It's been...
a week and a half almost
since I tested right. So, I mean, I'm fine. It's fine. It's annoying.
Yeah. It is what it is.
And I'm really tired.
It's the world we live in now, friends. You go on vacation, you come home sick. That's just the way it is. Just plan on it.
Plan on it. And I was talking to somebody earlier today about how many times have we been to Disneyland in the last year and a half. Mm-hmm. And I never came home with anything from Disneyland. Disneyland is obviously the cleaner park.
Of course. Not that we're comparing.
No, not at all.
Never. All right, let's read a review.
Okay.
We have a review this week from another Disney lover. And this is from back in February. We're catching up slowly but surely.
We're just a year behind.
We are so grateful for these reviews, you guys. Okay. Favorite Disney podcast. Love these ladies. I wanted to add to this review to personally thank Katie and Erin. Thanks to them and their detailed episode about how to reserve tickets in September 2021, I was able to get on both coveted rides in DCA and Disneyland. I still listen weekly because I love the podcast so much. Thank you so much. That was an awesome review. And we are glad that you got on the rides.
Yes, that must be back when there was virtual queues.
Must be. We are assuming virtual queue is coming back soonish for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. No word on that yet.
No, and we're 10 days out.
Yeah.
It opens in 10 days.
Yep. But stay tuned to our Instagram. If we hear anything, we will announce it there. Or we'll announce it on the podcast, even though we're delayed by a few days.
Right. As soon as we leave here today is when they're going to
probably
share that information. It's fine.
But we have some other Disney news to share with you today.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that dropped right after we recorded last week, which is the norm. Big news today is Magic Key sales have resumed. And there was immediately a queue, of course.
Over an hour.
And people jumped in that queue. And I don't know how long sales will go on, but on the website it says that sales will pause at 10 p.m. Pacific tonight and will resume again at 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, as long as you stay logged in and on that website, that tab, you will stay in the queue while it's closed.
And not
that makes
lose your
sense.
spot.
Right.
Right.
So if you are looking to get a Magic Key and you're stuck in the queue, don't despair, I guess.
Yeah, 10 o'clock, you can walk away and not pay attention. Once you're in to purchase, you have 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I joined a queue just to join it. Uh-huh. And people
are going to be mad at you for taking up a spot.
Probably. I wanted to see how long it took. And I had a meeting, and when I came out of the meeting was an hour, and when I came out of my meeting, I had been entered into the queue and had missed my 10-minute window, and it was kicked out, and I could rejoin.
We had a listener or an Instagram follower message us and say that she was in 5 minutes in the queue. So She got in, got her key, and got out within 5 minutes. So
I saw that you told her to play the lottery.
Yes.
I feel like we should include her in our lottery playings.
Maybe.
Maybe we need her luck.
We need her good luck charm.
And just to note really quick, Enchant is not available.
Right.
Enchant is still renewal only, which that'd be the one that I want.
Yeah.
That's the one I had before.
Right. And I was looking at Believe. Right. They have different names now than when we first bought ours. So
Inspire is the highest. With
Believe.
Yes. And then Enchant. And then
Enchant.
Imagine.
Right. So Enchant, if you have Enchant currently, you can renew it.
Yes.
You just can't buy a new one.
Correct. And Enchant was what I had, and it's what I would want again. So I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that it becomes available.
Right. And if you're a Southern California resident, you can do a payment plan on any of those.
Which, how do we go about doing that? How do we go about becoming
someone
Southern
to adopt us?
California residents real quick? Also, like, what is it? Are Southern Californians just more trustworthy? Like, why are they allowed to be on a payment plan, but nobody else can be? I wonder what the reasoning is.
I don't know.
I can't come up with a logical explanation.
Maybe there's some weird law in place that only allows payments. I don't know.
That's a possibility. California's full of weird laws. All right. So
what else have we got?
We'll keep you posted on that. Fantasmic is paused right now through February 2nd. No one knows why.
No one knows why.
It just disappeared from the calendar.
Yeah.
And I believe I read that a wall is up somewhere down there.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen that yet. But people are disappointed
I
that
would
have
be
trips
too.
coming up. It was only on weekends anyway, though.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
So, I mean, it obviously wasn't going to be on weekdays, but starting on February 3rd, or actually the 2nd is a Friday.
The 3rd is a Friday.
The 3rd is a Friday. So starting on the 3rd, it will start again.
It should start back
I pulled
up.
it. Yes, I pulled up the calendar yesterday, and it was starting on the 3rd.
But that means people, too, who have made reservations for like Hungry Bear dining packages, Riverbell Terrace dining packages, those are being canceled. So if you are going in the next couple of weeks and you have any of those, just be sure to check your plans and check your email.
Make sure that they are refunding you.
Yeah.
If you had like the Blue Bayou where you pay, or Riverbell where you pay up front, make sure they refund you.
Yeah. And then French Market is closing. Well, French Market and Mint Julep Bar are both closing on the 17th of February to make way for Tiana's Palace.
And people are very sad about this, too.
I know.
Not the Tiana's Palace thing.
But just that it's closing.
Right.
However, I'm going to say this. French Market is not a place I make it a point to go eat at.
I think I've only been there one time, and it was a long time ago, maybe like 20 years ago.
I think I've been there twice. One time was our trip with our friends last October, just because everybody was starving and we needed a place that would accommodate 10.
Right.
And so we went there. Prior to that, it was like 20 years.
Uh-huh.
It's not. So my point in saying this is if you have a trip coming up soon and you're disappointed by this, don't be. There's plenty to make up for it.
Right. It's just, I think it's the mint julep bar that people are saddest about. You can still get a mint julep and possibly beignets at Cafe Orleans. So
Right. If you're sitting down.
Right.
And we have heard that Ralph Brennan's has them as well, but Ralph Brennan's is showing up on the closure calendar. So I know
thought I read that they were going to keep the window open. Yes. It won't look the same. It'll be kind of like a construction-looking window.
But
is what I heard. But so you can still get your beignet fix downtown Disney if you want it.
Okay, and if anyone has a chance to test this out, let us know. Because on the closures, it shows Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen and Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen Express are both closed.
On the refurbs? Okay. All right.
And that's Jazz Kitchen Express is where you typically get beignets. And so I'm curious if they'll just keep a beignet window open. I would hope so.
I hope so, too. That's what I heard.
How can we take everybody's beignets away?
That is awful.
It's just not even a life
and
worth living.
especially if you can get them at Cafe Orleans, that's a reservation only
and it's
place.
a sit down.
So, yeah.
So it kind of sucks.
It does.
And there's no place else to get them.
What day does Ralph Brennan's close? Do you know?
Ralph Brennan's, I believe, is closed now. Let me double check. Let me double check that, though. Ralph Brennan's is closed currently.
Okay.
So if someone's there and wants to peek in and check and tell us, maybe we should go check.
Maybe. We haven't been to Disney in a long time. The time is now. We actually haven't been to Disneyland in a long time.
No, not since September for me.
Yeah.
Sad. Okay,
Super
let's
sad.
go. Okay.
Kidding, not kidding. All right. What else have we got on our
Stand
list?
by. Okay. And then today, was it today? The Disney 100 Celebration Food Guide was released.
Yes. Yep. Today.
What did you think? Did you look through the menu?
It's a lot of purple and blue. I think it's beautiful. Like all of the food is very pretty.
It is very pretty.
Aaron has a different opinion.
I know. I don't have a different opinion. It's very pretty. Here's my... I'm sorry, guys. We're G-rated for sure, right? This is going to put us into PG. We're going to be like fourth grade potty humor for just a second. Blue dye and purple dye make your poop blue. And so I'm just like, there's going to be a lot of blue poop happening at Disneyland.
Well,
you're going to have some festive number twos.
Yes.
If you're celebrating the 100th year.
What did you think about the new cream cheese pretzel, though?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
is
I
it blue?
tagged you in it. Yes,
you did.
I did.
I missed it.
It's blue. It's bluish purple, and it's like a taro flavored milk coating, and it's a cream cheese pretzel.
Okay.
And I don't remember if it had dipping sauce with it or not.
Okay.
It's really pretty.
It's
all really pretty.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. When are we going to try this?
I don't know.
Okay. What else have we got?
Problems. We have lots of problems.
Have problems.
Okay. And then closures. I think that was it for news.
I believe so. I mean, no, I think that's it. We still don't have any word on Splash Mountain.
Nope. No word on Splash Mountain. No word, like we mentioned, on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, how they're going to handle that.
Right. But it is set to open on the 27th.
On the 27th.
So.
And then there's going to be the new weekend, the new fireworks and the new World of Color and all the new things happening.
Coming up really quick.
So exciting, guys. So exciting. If you have a trip coming up, let us know because I think it's very exciting. And then closures. It's a Small World is currently closed. It will open on the 20th, which is next week.
Okay.
Indiana Jones obviously is closed with no reopening date, and we talked a little bit last week about how they are rerouting guests, so you can't go past Bengal Barbecue.
Right.
If you're wanting to get to Pirates of the Caribbean, you want to go through Frontierland. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln will reopen on the 26th. Radiator Springs Racers reopens on the 24th of January. And then on the 24th of January, also Mickey's PhilharMagic closes down until February 4th. And then on the 30th of January, Haunted Mansion Holiday and Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind are both going to close, and they'll both reopen on February 10th. And Grizzly River is closed with no reopening at this point.
Okay.
That just means
it's typical for Grizzly this time of year.
And any of those that we don't have an opening date for, that just means the calendar goes out to February 28th right now.
It means
just a reminder.
Indefinitely.
And sometime after February 28th, as soon as we know a date, we'll let you know.
I'm excited to see how Indiana Jones and Radiator Springs look when they reopen, what they've done with them.
Me too.
It's going to be good.
I know.
I hope.
I know.
I hope they're working.
And I hope, yes. And my kids have come up with a whole list of things that they're hoping happen with Indiana Jones, especially since it's a much longer refurbishment. They're hoping for big things. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
And now.
A
word from our sponsor. We want to take a second to tell you guys about Anchor.
We love Anchor.
It's made making a podcast so easy. I'm pretty inept when it comes to most things. And if I can handle it, anybody can handle it.
Yeah, Anchor was super user-friendly for us to figure out when we were first getting started. And it's been a great place for us to publish through. It sends our podcast to all the places that people want to listen.
Yep. And we don't use this feature because, as you know, we recorded our local public library, which we're grateful for that. But there's a place right in the Anchor app to record from your phone. So you could literally start a podcast this afternoon if you're interested in doing that.
Without any fancy equipment. Maybe sometime what we'll do is record from the park. Straight from our phone.
We'll show you. We'll show you how easy it is to use Anchor. It's free. We're able to publish on Apple, Google, Spotify, who owns Anchor. Anywhere that you want to listen to podcasts, we're there.
So how can people get to Anchor?
So if you want to start your own podcast, and we recommend it because it's the funnest thing ever, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Thanks, Anchor.
We're going to chit-chat with you guys a little bit today about our trip.
Yes, a real recap this time, and not a sickness-induced echoey recap.
We didn't even recap. It was a sickness-induced, we're going to phone this one in because we need to do something.
Yes.
Sorry about that, guys. We try really hard not to do that, but man, last week was rough.
It was. But we survived, and we're back, and we had the best time.
We did.
It was so good.
It was great. So we mentioned last week that Katie left us a little early. And so we'll talk about the plans that we had laid. And I actually was there for the full trip, so I experienced all the things that we had planned, which was sad.
It just wasn't the same.
I had a little tear. I took Katie, I'll tell you in a minute, but I took Katie back to the hotel when she left. And I stood and watched her taxi cab drive away. It was very sad. My Uber driver that had a list of rules in the window. He had a lot of rules.
He did. He was funny.
Did you talk at all?
No.
Oh, no.
I actually did start talking to him when we got a little closer to the airport. I asked him. I don't remember asking about his family or something.
About all of his rules?
Right, no.
He had like a sticky on the inside of the window with like 10 rules for things you were not allowed to do in his car.
I'll have to share it on our stories maybe.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny. So why don't we talk about our hotels first, where we got to stay?
Yes.
And we started maybe we've mentioned this already before, but we started at All-Star Movies, which was an addition. We were not coming in until Wednesday initially and then decided to come in Tuesday because of all the flight issues that were going on. We thought we'd give ourselves a day buffer because we were doing something very special on Thursday and needed to be there in time for that.
And I'm glad we did that.
Me too.
And we got there super, super, super late. I mean, really, it was Wednesday morning early. By the time we landed, it was like 2 a.m.
Yep.
We took Mears.
We did. And Mears was great, I thought.
Yes, our driver was very friendly.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So our tip to you is don't sit in the front seat if you're not feeling chatty. Don't sit close to the driver.
2 a.m. Okay, here's my only thing with Mears. And I'll share this with you. We'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly. How's that sound?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mears, we flew Southwest, which lands us in Terminal A.
Yes.
And baggage claim is in Terminal A. And so once you exit the security checkpoint and everything, you go downstairs to baggage claim, you get your bag. Then in order to get to Mears, you have to go back upstairs, go through the main... What do you even call that?
Esplanade?
Sure, where security is for everybody. And then go down another set of stairs on the other side. It's quite a hike.
It is. But this is the way it was with Magical Express as well. It's always been that way at the airport.
But Magical Express grabbed your bags.
Yes.
Which we talked a little bit about this when we were riding. Disney, if you're listening, I would be happy to pay $10 more or something per person to have someone get my bags for me like they did with Magical Express, because schlepping your bags all the way across the airport at 2 a.m. is a lot, and it's quite a walk.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just giving everybody the information.
Right. And we were two grown women, too. It would be a lot harder with kids and strollers and car seats.
Yeah.
And multiple suitcases and whiny, tired kids.
Yeah, I was a whiny, tired adult, and it was hard enough. But it is quite a walk. I'm going to say, by the time you get your bags and walk across the airport, go down the other side, and then walk to where Mears is, you're walking probably a quarter of a mile, would you say?
Maybe so. But if you're flying any one of the other airlines that go to Terminal B, you're in luck.
Because you're right there.
Yes. But I thought the bus ride was smooth and fast, and it was comfy.
Yep.
It's one of those big, giant touring buses, so you have comfy seats and...
Yes, and we just went to the All-Star Resorts. So we dropped off first at All-Star Sports, and then Music, and then we were the last drop-off.
At Movies.
And there was a red carpet.
There was a red carpet. The bus driver made sure that we knew there was going to be a red carpet and told us his big tip was get a picture on the red carpet. And then we didn't because it was too late.
Did not get a picture on the red carpet.
We were too tired. But I thought the resort was great. The rooms are recently renovated, so they were nice.
Yeah, and
they're
our
a little
room,
bit small. I would say they're on the small side.
Definitely would be appropriate, I feel like, for parents and 2 small children, max. That would it would be hard.
Or 2 adults like us. It worked great.
Right.
So there was a queen-size bed and then a pull-down table bed.
Like a Murphy bed.
Yes.
And it was also a queen-size bed. And I slept on the Murphy bed, and it was completely fine. It was comfortable. It felt like a normal bed. It didn't feel like a pull-out sofa or anything like that. The bathroom area, the main part where you get ready did not close off to the room.
Right.
So when one of us was up getting ready, you had your back to the room. The lights were filling the room. So it's not like you could get up early and let your kids sleep in. You're going to have lights.
Right. Plenty of storage, though.
Yes.
Lots of shelves.
Yep. A fridge. They call it a beverage cooler.
Yes.
So it goes down to, I think it said 41 degrees.
Right. So if you're expecting to keep popsicles in the room, that's not going to work.
Correct. No microwave. There was a coffee maker and some coffee. It was not a Keurig. For this room, it was just a grounds coffee maker.
Okay.
What else?
I don't know. It's always fun to come into a Disney resort. This was Erin's first time staying on property, so she got the joy of when you walk in, the TV says your name on it.
Yes.
Welcome, Guyman and Clark family.
We were so happy, and I took a picture of it because I was just so excited.
It is. It's really fun.
It is fun.
It's a nice
it's got
special
Disney
touch.
music playing, and it's pretty fun. So great hotel. We just slept there.
Yeah.
And then we got up the next morning, we went to Bell Services, gave them our bags, told them we were transferring to Pop Century that evening, and they took care of it from there. When we arrived that evening at Pop Century, our bags were in our room, which I don't think is standard. I don't know why they were in our room.
Because Betsy.
Yes.
Because our friend Betsy came to check in or to pick up an Amazon package, I think. And it just happened to be at the same time our luggage had arrived.
And they had taken it up to our room for us.
Right.
So don't plan on that. They will move your luggage from bell service to bell service between hotels, but you typically do have to go pick up your bag at bell service at the second hotel.
We just got a little bit of pixie dust that day.
It was totally pixie dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that day we went to Disney Springs, and then we were there we walked through. We didn't even stop anywhere, did we?
No. We saw the line for Gideon's and our eyes got wide and we kept walking.
Yes, which I learned a little bit. I did Gideon's a couple of days later and I learned a little bit about that line, which I'll talk about at some point.
Sounds good. But that line is long. Mm-hmm. And it was, like 11 in the morning when we went through? Maybe 10,
yeah, probably,
30, 11?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super long. We hopped on a boat in Disney Springs and sailed what river? What's it called?
Sassagoula.
The Sassagoula River.
Yeah.
We were the only 2 passengers on board, so it felt like our own little private cruise.
Our boat driver was not as friendly as our bus driver.
No. He was nice, though.
He was nice.
We sailed through one of the Disney golf courses next to Old Key West and got to see some of Old Key West. We sailed over to Port Orleans French Quarter, and I bet you can guess what we were doing there.
Speaking of the beignets that are not available at Disneyland.
This is a beignet-heavy episode.
We should just call it beignets galore.
Yes.
We got beignets for breakfast. And we met up with our friend, Michelle.
Yes.
Who is the owner of Mouse World Travel.
Yes.
And had beignets with her. Hot take. Port Orleans beignets are better than Disneyland's.
They were good.
They were really good.
And they were huge.
And
they were fresh.
And hot.
They make them right then. So there's a little to-go window, and they have little tables sitting around, too, so you can sit and eat them. They came with some dipping sauces. So they had raspberry, caramel, and chocolate. And they're Mickey-shaped.
Yes.
So they're cute.
They look like, I think, mint julep bars are supposed to look like.
Got it.
Don't you think?
Maybe.
They were.
But they're bigger. They're
quality.
Much bigger.
Quality.
And we each ordered 3, and that was too many.
Yeah, we didn't finish.
We
Neither
could
of
have
us
shared
finished easily.
We definitely could have shared.
And I will say, I got chocolate sauce.
I got strawberry.
Because I don't love strawberries. I would get the strawberry sauce next time.
It was so good. It was the perfect to cut the sweet. It was kind of like a tangy to cut the sweet.
The chocolate was too much. The fruit was way better.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yes. And there's also a whole other food court area in Port Orleans French Quarter right there. It's such a cute hotel. I took a lot of pictures.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Super. Yeah, very French Quarter feeling. But then there's a whole food court there where you can get drinks. Coke Freestyle machine is there, and salads and a bunch of different food. It wasn't
Sandwiches,
just beignets. Yes.
Right.
We had a chance to check out the pool while we were there. It was a really cool pool with a big, what did we decide? King Triton?
King Triton or Poseidon or somebody.
Sure. Somebody.
Somebody with a pitchfork.
And lots of muscles.
Whatever they're called.
Yeah.
A Triton?
I think it's a pitchfork. A trident.
A trident. There it is. We got there.
It took us a minute.
Oh, boy. We're not even recording in the morning, guys. And our brains are already not working. Okay.
We did not have a chance to go to Riverside, which we wanted to.
Right.
So but we ended up talking too long.
Yes.
Imagine that.
Which was worth it.
Yes.
But we walked down just a little tiny ways down the path. Apparently, Riverside is a beautiful resort, so I'm hoping we get a chance to go check it out sometime.
Yeah. We should have I wish we had done it.
Yeah.
But we can't do everything.
Right.
Because
we had another reservation to get to.
For more bread. More carbs.
So we just walked out front and hopped a bus over to Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And then to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Okay.
Because you cannot hop from resort to resort.
Right. And so this was my big, what's the word? Not concern, not fear. Just the thing that I felt most anxious about going into the trip is transportation. Because it's not easy to get anywhere at Disney World.
Right.
And so it's what I learned, because this was a fairly new thing. And this was brand new to me, actually, because when we went last with my family, we did not stay on property and we rented a car. So we didn't use
any density.
Yes.
Except the Skyliner, right?
Right. But what I learned is if you want to go between resorts, you have to pivot. You have to either go to like the Ticket and Transportation Center, or you have to go to one of the parks. Yes. And then you can get a bus
Disney Springs.
Or Disney Springs. And then you can get a second bus to whatever resort you're going to.
Correct.
If you're going park to park, you can do that most of the time.
Yes.
After a certain period of time, and I think that's to allow for hopping. They don't do it before that time.
Sure.
But you're able to go park to park easily, hotel to park easily, and then hotel to hotel, you have to put a park or something in between.
Right. And the nice thing about the bus system is on your app, when you're in My Disney Experience, you can look up bus times while you're at a resort. You can look up when the next bus is coming for which park, and usually you can time things pretty well that way.
Yeah. It actually was easier than I expected. I did have a couple of hiccups, which were after you left, and we'll talk about them. But for the most part, once you get the hang of it after a day, you know, you've pretty much got the feel of things, and it's fairly easy to get around. It just takes forever.
Yeah. It is definitely much more complicated than park hopping at Disneyland.
That's
all I'm going to say about that.
For sure. And, you know, Disneyland is so easy because you can stay at a hotel across the street. It's easy to get in. It's easy to go back to your room if you want to take a nap. It's easy to move between the parks. It's easy to get to the on-property hotels. That is not the case at Walt Disney World at all.
Can we talk for a second about security?
Sure.
This is my beef with security. People
that you get pulled over every single time.
People love those scanners at Disney World. Disneyland does not have them yet. We have to actually walk through metal detectors, right?
And have our
bags searched. So the scanners at Disney World are supposed to be superior, right? And it makes things go much more smoothly.
Yes.
Unless
you
get stopped every single time you go through the scanner, and I had to have my bag gone through anyway, except for the very last time.
When you finally ditched everything.
Yes.
You pretty much threw everything away.
And then Aaron got stopped that time. So,
yeah, we didn't have great luck with the scanners.
Anyways, they're great. And
what did they tell us it was? They told us
it was my phone charger, and then it was my tin of mints,
right?
And then it was my umbrella. There was a myriad of things that they said it could be. So.
But they never said it was our water bottles. I had a water bottle. It was my battery pack one time, I think. And
sometimes they can't tell you what exactly it was that set it
was
off,
their best guess. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too. In order to go from hotel to hotel, you do have to pass through a security checkpoint at some point. So,
and if you're monorail hopping between resorts, you go through that security every single time you get off the monorail and then into a resort. Yeah.
So just know that.
It's kind of a pain.
If you're a Disneylander listening to this for some Disney World advice, just plan on more time than you think you'll need.
Yeah.
Because it's time consuming.
Or don't bring your phone charger, but who doesn't need their phone charger at Disney?
Right. Just plan on transportation taking forever. So we went over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, got off one bus, hopped on the other bus to get to, went to Animal Kingdom Park.
Yes.
Hopped off one bus.
Then to the lodge.
And then to the lodge. Because we had lunch reservations at Sana.
Yummy. Bread service. Best thing ever.
So good.
We sat and watched some giraffes and some zebras and a cute little tortoise.
Yes.
And a little desert tortoise. Yes.
There was one giraffe that was right outside of a window next to a table that was not our window. And that little bugger did not move the entire time. I was hoping he would work his way down toward us.
I know. We should have gotten a discount on our meal for the giraffe not visiting our table.
We should have complained.
Could you have the character come over to our table, please? Where's your handler?
Excuse me. Hi. Will that be coming over anytime soon? We got the bread service. We each got our own. Bread service, if you haven't had it before, is like 4 different kinds of non-bread and 9 different dipping sauces.
Something like that.
And it's delightful.
It's so good. And we got tomato soup, too, which is also...
with paneer in it.
Yes, so
I love
delightful.
paneer. Yes. It was a great lunch.
It was.
We were very carbed out, though, when we were down there. No more carbs.
That's what you do at Disney, though, right? You got to carb load and then walk 27,000 steps.
Yep.
And then, what else did we do that day?
That day, we also decided to head over to... So after that, we went and checked into our hotel, made sure our bags were there. Actually, no. When we very first got there, Betsy wasn't there yet, and our bags had not been delivered. We stopped at Bell Services.
Right. We were going to go freshen up, and they did not have our bags yet.
But we went up to the room, used the bathroom, did a couple things real quick, and then we left. Betsy got there shortly after.
I didn't know we had been there.
And she thought, man, their cleaning services have gone downhill. It looks like this bathroom has been used.
The soap is unwrapped.
So she told us she almost called and asked for a different room because our room had been defiled.
Yes.
And I was like, Betsy, we were here. It was great.
Well, let's talk about Pop Century for a minute.
Hold on.
Oh, wait,
one second. The reason, though, that works so well is because when you have guests, so there were 3 of us, right? And we didn't get there at the same time and we didn't check in or anything. The beautiful thing about Walt Disney World is you can use your Magic Band to get into your room, or you can use your app on your phone to get into your room. And so it was lovely because we could come and go as we pleased. We didn't have to coordinate. We didn't have to be like, Betsy, meet us so we can give you a key to the room. It was great. So that's why she didn't know we were there, just because we all had access to the room as soon as we were checked in. It was awesome.
I love that. And I'm excited for that functionality to come to Disneyland
I've heard they're testing it.
Yeah. That and scanning into the parks is already a thing, but hopefully they get the little stanchions
Yes.
like they have at Disney World because it's really quick.
Yes.
And then hopefully to be able to pay with your Magic Band
All
functionality
those things
coming
are great.
soon.
Yes. Okay, then after we freshened up, we headed to the monorail resorts.
Yeah. Did we take the Skyliner from, or did we take a bus? I don't remember.
I think we took a bus to Magic Kingdom and then hopped on the monorail. I don't remember.
That sounds right.
This was like 100 years ago.
This was day one. Anyway, so we went to Magic Kingdom. We did some resort hopping and ended at the Polynesian, which we had planned to do. We were going to go and grab some snacks
At Tambu Lounge.
At Tambu Lounge.
Which we did.
And then we were going to watch the fireworks from the beach at the Polynesian, which is an experience I've heard great things about.
Yeah.
And it was. I thought it was great.
Totally. The food at Tambu Lounge was great. They have a to-go counter for drinks only.
Yes.
But we had a little skirmish.
The seating is first come, first served.
Yeah.
And it's like a bunch of vultures waiting for tables, which we were those vultures waiting for tables. And someone tried to take the next table from us, and Aaron wasn't having it.
Luckily, Aaron is a little assertive, and I marched my behind right up there, and I was like, no, we're next. We'll take it. And the husband in this group was none too happy with me.
Yeah, it's fine. It worked out fine.
It's a story.
Yes, and we ate our Ohana noodles and some dumplings.
Pot stickers. And bread pudding.
And bread pudding because we hadn't had enough bread that day, so we needed more bread.
But you guys, honestly, that was probably the best thing I ate all day.
Oh, it was so good.
That bread pudding is fantastic.
It's like a pineapple upside down cake with caramel and ice cream on it.
Yeah, it's so good. And I'll tell you, if you had it before and you love the sauce, I told Katie this, I make a sauce just like it. It's really easy to make. If you need the recipe, you just let me know.
Okay.
It's easy.
It's like a Bananas Foster type
It
sauce.
is a Bananas Foster sauce, but they must use banana extract in it because there wasn't bananas in it. I use real bananas.
Gotcha.
But mine tastes exactly the same with bananas in it.
So by the time we were done eating those delicious treats, it was time for fireworks almost. So we walked downstairs, out onto the beach. There were a bunch of people already lined up there.
Yep.
Some people had brought their little picnic lunch out.
Yes.
And were sitting on blankets. It was very cute and a very fun setup.
Lots of people.
And they do pipe the music in from the fireworks out there on the beach. So that's fun.
Yes.
A little addition. So about halfway through the fireworks, we looked at each other. There was a boat at the dock next to the beach waiting to go over to Magic Kingdom. And we looked at each other and said, let's go hop on that boat.
Yeah.
So we did. Our barefoot feet
ran down the dock because
With
we were
our
hoping
sandy
it wouldn't go away.
And we finished the rest of the fireworks show from the boat, which was
awesome.
Really cool.
There was no music.
Right. They were playing Christmas music on the boat.
Were they? I didn't even pay attention. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but we had a great view.
It was
crossing the Seven
fun.
Seas Lagoon, watching all the fireworks. It was great.
And then we walked right up to the front gates as the fireworks were finishing for the finale. And then we were ahead of the crowd to go jump on the monorail. What did we do?
Did we get on the monorail or did we get on a bus? We got on a bus.
We got on a bus, that's right.
And headed back to our hotel to call it a night.
Yes.
And Betsy was there at that point. That's when we heard that she almost tried to get our room changed. And our bags had been delivered. And she ordered some stuff on Amazon. That was delivered also. Heads up, if you do end up staying on property at Walt Disney World Resort and you want to order some things from Amazon, there is a $6 fee. Was it $6? Is that right?
Yep, it used to be $5. They just upped it to $6.
So $6 handling fee, period. And that's whether you go down and get it yourself or they bring it to the room for you, period. You pay $6 for them to even accept that order.
Right.
Yeah. So just
kind of
be aware
annoying,
of that.
but
Yeah.
There it is.
Is it $6 per order?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So get what you need. She ordered deodorant and ended up paying $6 plus the cost of her deodorant because she didn't know.
Right.
And so
she might as well have just bought it at the little shop downstairs, right? It would have been
less
cheaper.
expensive, yeah. But just heads up on that.
But Pop Century had a really nice food court area. It was ginormous.
It was ginormous.
And then they have a big old gift shop attached to that. And the lobby is huge.
The pool looks like a ton of fun.
The pool is huge.
Yes. There's Skyliner access. Our room was identical to the room that we had at All Star Movies. Identical.
Yes. But you thought the shower was a little bit nicer.
Did
right? You said that the water pressure was better.
Oh,
or yes. The shower head was better or something.
So the difference, yes, that's right. The shower head at Pop Century had a handheld also.
Oh, okay.
And the shower pressure was a little better. The one at All Star Movies was just from the top, and that was it. But other than that, negligible difference.
Yep. So Skyliner access was a huge bonus.
Huge
for Pop Century and the shower, apparently.
Yeah, the shower.
And the nice thing about Pop Century is the bus system there is just for Pop Century, whereas at All Star, the buses go to all 3 resorts right there at the All Star area. So you have to wait a little bit longer, and sometimes they're full by the time they get to you. So
especially All Star Movies.
Yes.
We were the last one on the route.
Right.
So if it gets to you and it's full, you wait until you get one that's not full. But yeah, Pop Century is just Pop Century to wherever that bus is going. Right. So that's great. And the Skyliner. Gosh, let's just talk about that for a minute.
Love the Skyliner.
I do too. It's quick. It's easy.
It's relaxing.
It's weird that when there's nobody in line, they'll still shove you in a Skyliner with somebody else that you don't know that's not part of your party. I don't understand that.
It didn't happen to us often, though.
It happened enough, though, to be just like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
When there's only like 10 people in line.
But I'm sure you could request to ride alone if there's no one else in line.
Probably.
Right?
But still, I ended up at one point, I think after I took you back to, so Katie left from Pop Century. She did not move to our 3rd hotel with us. And we were at Epcot when she left. And so we took the Skyliner from Epcot over to Pop Century. And when I left to go back to Epcot, I got put on with 2 groups of people.
Wow.
I didn't like one person who was alone and then a couple. And I was just like, there was nobody at the station. We all just happened to walk up at the same time. And they asked how many in each party, and we told them, and they just put us all on the same Skyliner. That's weird because it's awkward.
It is because you're in an elevator technically, but like for 20 minutes.
Right. And, I would love to make a phone call. Like if I want to call my kids and check in with my kids. But you can't do that when you've got a bunch of strangers on the Skyliner with you.
Yeah.
So that's my only complaint about the Skyliner. Maybe you could ask to have your own.
I bet you could.
Probably.
Because we requested unwrapped cars a couple of times, right?
Right.
And they were pretty
if it's not
accommodating.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. But it's just weird to me. Like when there's nobody in line, just give everyone their own car.
Right.
Anyway.
Don't make us be friendly with people.
No, that's not why we're here. Okay, so then we were there for 2 nights.
Right. Like Erin mentioned, she and Betsy moved over to a new hotel the day that I left. Drum roll.
Yacht Club. We told you Beach Club originally. Originally, our plan was Beach Club, but we were able to get a better deal at Yacht Club.
Yes.
So we moved over to Yacht Club. I have opinions about Yacht Club.
All right.
Okay. Couple of things. Number one, and actually they just announced this last week. However, I noticed it when we were there.
Mousekeeping?
Yes.
Okay.
So we received mousekeeping every single day. And at that point, they had not announced that daily service had returned. Since then, they have announced that at deluxe resorts, at Walt Disney World, daily mousekeeping service has returned. They must have just been rolling it out while we were there. Okay. We were surprised by it.
Yeah.
Every day we came home to made beds and new fresh toiletries and all the things.
That's so nice.
Yes. So that was great because it was a deluxe resort. Yacht Club, I wouldn't stay there with my family.
Okay.
With my young kids. I feel like the vibe is a lot different. And it's interesting to me. In fact, we talked about this the night that we were going through all of the monorail resorts because we stopped at the Grand Floridian and we walked around and checked some stuff out. And then we went to the Poly. And those 2 hotels are right next to each other, easy walking distance from each other. And there's such a different feel when you're in them.
Yeah.
And we talked about it then. I was like, this is so, like, Poly is so much more a party. You walk in and you can just feel the excitement and people are, excited to be there. Grand Floridian is very buttoned up.
Yes.
I feel the same way about Yacht Club.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yacht Club felt very buttoned up to me. And then Beach Club, which is attached, felt more family friendly because we walked through and we went to Beaches and Cream and we went to the pool and, whatever. It felt more family friendly. Boardwalk, which is just right across that lake, really felt a lot more family friendly. We walked through there and checked some stuff out too. I think with kids, I would probably choose Boardwalk or Beach Club over Yacht Club.
Okay. I can see that. I think one of the things that I loved about Yacht Club when we stayed there was the location.
It's fantastic.
Located in between Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So if you're walking to either of those, it's the perfect spot. And you can also catch that Friendship boat right there too.
Yeah. And our room was super convenient to the Friendship boat. So the dock that's right there, once you exited that boat, there's a door into Yacht Club, like a side door, just right off the boardwalk there. And there was an elevator right inside that door. And we took the elevator up and our room was 3 doors down. And so it was super convenient to that. I loved the location.
Yeah.
I loved the hotel.
Yeah. And the pool area is fantastic. You can't beat the pool.
And this is something else to note. That pool, I believe, is the only pool on property that requires you to, let me think how to word this.
Where they enforce it.
Where they enforce it.
Right.
Correct. So when you go to check in at that pool, they check your Magic Band or your phone to make sure you're a guest at that hotel.
Are they still giving wristbands?
And then you get a wristband. Yeah. That's good for your entire stay. So you keep your wristband on in order to access the pool. Other pools throughout the properties, you can kind of can fudge and do it. Yeah.
And I noticed at Pop Century, especially, they have like showers and changing rooms and lockers at
near
the pool. So I'm assuming they're expecting that people are coming from other resorts and
I think the unofficial rule, or maybe the official rule, is no, right?
Right.
You're not supposed to do that. But they're
how
not
are they
going
to know? Yeah.
And we know this. We had a friend who was there at the same time as us, and she resort hopped for swimming. She went to Wilderness Lodge to go swimming with her family. So I know that you can. But that is the only one where they will for sure verify.
They actually check.
And they will only let the number of people that you have on your reservation in.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're very strict about it. It's because it's the nicest pool on property.
Right. So they don't want it to be overrun.
Right. It's got a sand bottom, which is very nice.
It is cool. And a fun slide.
A fun slide, which we learned while we were there is the longest slide on any Disney property.
Wow.
I don't know if I believe it. When she was telling me that, I was like, trying to think, and she said, well, Disneyland doesn't have the room.
Yeah.
Which I haven't ever been on the monorail slide.
It's not that long.
Not a complaint, but just a heads up. If you're there and you're in your swimsuit and you want to go on the slide, you have to exit the pool area, walk across the main walkway where everybody's walking to and from the park with your butt hanging out.
And a lot of people have this complaint when they have littler kids, too, is that your kids are leaving the pool area to go on the water slide.
Right.
So you either have to go with them if you're nervous about that, or you have to sit and twiddle your thumbs and hope that they come down the slide eventually.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Like, when we went to use this, Betsy's used the slide before, but when I went to use it for the first time, I was like, wait, this can't be right. And she's like, no, it is, trust me. And you cross the main walking path, and there's people coming and going from Epcot.
Right.
And you're in your underwear. Well, not your underwear, but your swimsuit, crossing this path.
That's funny.
Anyway, so then the entrance slide is on the other side of the walking path. And it's a pretty fun slide.
It is fun. It's cute.
It is cute. What else did I love that, and I didn't notice this at any other place, but at Yacht Club, Mickey and Minnie and Goofy, for sure, were the three I heard. I imagine that maybe there was one elevator I never got into, so maybe it's Donald. I don't know.
But
they announced your floor. Yes.
That's cute.
We did not ever use the wake-up calls.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever used the wake-up calls at Disney.
I'm a little disappointed in us.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why not.
I know.
Just don't really ever think about it. They do not have the Alexas, whatever the Hey Disney. Is that what it's?
Yes.
They're rolling that out. So
and we did
some
not
of the
have
resorts
that.
have them, but none of ours did this time.
Nope. Bell services was awesome. We needed a couple extra blankets. It was freezing. And those, I don't know who is in charge of purchasing blankets at these resorts, but those are not blankets.
Band-Aid colored blankets.
It's not even the Band-Aid colored blankets. It's like these gauzy, thin, white.
Like hospital blankets.
Yes. And they're not thick. And they're not warm.
So you needed 5 of them?
Yes. Anyway, so what else? I'm trying to think what else were the beautiful perks. That resort is gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
It is beautiful.
And lots of good restaurants on property.
Yes. Yes. Did I tell you I took a ride from strangers?
No.
Oh, I didn't tell you that?
What does that mean?
Okay, since we're talking about this and since we're talking about like resorts and transportation and stuff, here are the hiccups I had with transportation. Number 1, Friday night after you left, I went back to, after I dropped you off, I went back to Yacht Club and went up to the hotel, freshened up. Betsy was gone. And I ordered dinner at Satuli Canteen at Animal Kingdom. So I went and caught a bus, went to Animal Kingdom. I hung out in Pandora until it closed. And then I went to Hollywood Studios to go catch Fantasmic.
Okay.
And Fantasmic, the show I went to, was the 9:30 showing. So Hollywood Studios closed at 9. And then they started letting people in shortly after that point into the stadium, theater seating, whatever. It was shocking to me. You haven't seen it there, right?
No.
Okay, it was shocking to me. The line was crazy. The line went from Tower of Terror, which is kind of the access point, all the way like to in front of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh,
It was so long. I took video of it because I was shocked at how long it was. And I asked a cast member, I was like, hey, if I get in this line, is there a chance I'm going to even be able to? Because I was like, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to go back to the hotel. It's so long. And I said, do I even have a chance getting in to see it? She says, oh, yeah, everybody in this line will get in. And she said it very confidently. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got in line. Once they started moving, it moved pretty quickly. That theater is a ways back. Like once they finally let you in, it is quite a ways back. It's still quite a hike to get to the theater. And I would say, I took video of this as well. There were probably 2 huge sections that didn't have anybody in them at all.
By the time the show started?
Oh, wow. It's massive. And there were thousands and thousands of people there. And it's crazy how big it is. So if you're there and you ever see that line and it looks a little
daunting.
Yes. She said that there's never been a show where they've turned people away. And I can believe it. It's huge. So I got in line for that. Went to Fantasmic at 9:30. Had a great seat front and center because I was alone. So I could just kind of fill in a spot. And when it was over, I wanted to beat this crowd.
Sure.
I didn't want to have to wait with everybody. So as soon as I knew it was wrapping up, I jumped up and I took off out of the theater.
Okay.
So I was one of the first ones out of the theater. As I was getting to, is it Sunset Boulevard?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's Sunset Boulevard. Anyway, as I got there, I was nosy. The park was closed and it was empty, but there was nobody there making sure people were leaving. And so I walked back into the park a little ways just to take some pictures and stuff. And there was a huge group of people standing behind cast members. There was like a cast member wall and a huge group of people. And I was watching them. And all of a sudden they came across that big open area in front of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And the cast members were kind of leading it, almost like rope drop.
Sure.
And I asked somebody in the group, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Because I was close enough that and she says, oh, we're here for a after hours party.
Aww.
I'm pretty sure I could have jumped in with them and nobody would have noticed. They all had Mickey ice cream bars.
Okay.
So that might have been a giveaway that I didn't have that, but I could have been lactose intolerant. Who knows? Anyway, they were having an after hours party and I thought, I totally could jump. I didn't, but I thought I could. Anyway, so I watched that for a minute. By the time I was done watching that, the main group was leaving from Fantasmic. You know, the whole crowd was coming out. And so I took my time walking out. By the time I got out, it was probably 10:20. And I thought, I'm going to take the boat back over to Yacht Club.
Okay.
Because it's so convenient.
Yeah.
So I come out of the entrance. I go to the left. The boat dock is black.
Oh, yeah,
Pitch black.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world? So there's a sign that said that they end
They stop running them.
an hour after,
Yep.
which makes no sense to me when you have a show that large.
Fantasmic,
A
yeah.
half an hour after the park closes. Why
Yeah.
would you shut down transportation before everybody's out? So I thought, okay, fine. I was dead tired. Didn't want to walk.
Right.
So I went over to the bus area and I looked at the bus board and next to Yacht Club it says take boat. And I'm like, no freaking way. So I go up to a cast member and I was like, hi, do you guys have any buses running to beach and yacht? And he was like, you can take the boat. And I was like, I can't. It's done. It's dark. And he's like, it shouldn't be. And I was like, it is. So he called. And apparently there was a pretty good sized group of people who had complained because the same thing happened. And so I walk over. He says, I guess we've dispatched a bus for you guys. So he sends me over to the place. I get there. There's another big family waiting. They're angry because they had a special needs party member and can't walk back.
Okay.
And they're waiting for a bus. We waited for 40 minutes.
Oof.
No bus ever came. And finally, I'm watching the Skyliner, but I didn't want to take the Skyliner because as great as it is,
It's far from Yacht Club.
It gets you there,
Yeah.
but it takes
you might
forever.
as well walk.
Right. And it takes forever because you have to go to, what is it, Caribbean Beach, transfer. Like, it just takes forever. And I didn't want to do that. And I was tired and I was cranky. And the next morning, I had to get up at like 4 a.m. So I ended up running over and grabbing the Skyliner and taking the Skyliner back.
Okay.
But that was my one complaint about transportation. I don't
Got it.
understand why. I mean, that's a main source of transportation in that area.
Right. And especially at park closing, you would think that they would keep things running
Yeah.
at least a couple of hours
Yeah.
past closing.
Yeah. Well, and I asked when I got on the Skyliner.
And it was a Friday night, so it's not like it was like a random weekday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I asked when I got on the Skyliner, I was like, how late do you guys run? And her response was, until the last person is out of Hollywood Studios.
Huh.
And I was like, okay. And so that
That's
makes
good.
sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the boats were shut down.
Yeah.
And so this family that I talked to in line waiting for the bus had the same issue. They went to the boat dock and they left Fantasmic early and booked it out of the park to catch because they knew the hour, the deal. And she said, we got there at 10:02. And he was like, sorry, I'm done.
boy.
And I was like,
Yikes.
really? So that was my first complaint. My
Okay.
second complaint, these aren't even really complaints.
No.
Just heads
and
up.
this could be a staffing issue too.
Could
right?
be. Yeah. I just feel like they need to run it another half hour.
Yeah.
And I get if you're going to dilly-dally, but they have, like, the shops are open for what, an hour after the park closes,
They
right?
sure do want your money.
Right. And I'm just like, wait, why do you stop running so quickly?
Yeah,
So that was so then the second issue was we were there during marathon weekend. Betsy, our friend, was running in the half marathon, and I wanted to head to Magic Kingdom to cheer for her at the castle. They just didn't make it very clear how I could get there.
Oh, got it.
And I couldn't figure it out. Nobody at the front desk seemed to know. We tried. In fact, I'm the one who found more information than they had online and provided it to them. So I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to try to work my way over there. There was nothing running. It was like a ghost town. So I ended up taking a ride from a stranger.
Okay.
A husband and wife came out. Their daughter was running the half marathon, and we talked for a few minutes, and we kind of discussed what information we both had found. And they were like, okay, well, we're going to try driving. And I was like, okay. And they're like, and we know you don't know us, but you're more than welcome to come with us.
Yeah.
So Greg and Susan from Pennsylvania, you're not going to hear this, and their daughter's name's Olivia. I ended up taking a ride from them. They did not murder me.
Oh, good.
We did end up in some really desolate spaces because all the roads were closed.
Yeah.
Because of the half marathon. And I even said that at one point, I'm like, this road looks like where you might take someone to kill them. They felt safe. And so I took a ride from them. We figured it out together, and we ended up where we were supposed to be. But transportation's just a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, if you're off hours, for sure.
Yeah. And but I feel like on marathon weekend, it should be
they did make
easy to find.
Yeah, they did make a big deal about, no, you can't take this to marathon, to the start line or whatever.
Right.
Like, they made a big deal about the runners had to take specific buses and
go to specific places. And if you're here after this time, you have to go here and take a bus and all this stuff. And we just really struggled. And even once we got in the car to try to figure out where we're going, it still took a half an hour for us to figure out the way to get to where we needed to be. It was just it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I just felt like for Disney, again, a big company.
Yeah.
I just feel like.
And they've been doing it for 30 plus years, right?
Yeah, you'd think that it would be just a little bit more information would be a little more easily accessed. Sure. So anyway, those are my two complaints. Otherwise, transportation's pretty easy. Yeah. It wasn't as awful as I thought.
Once you've done it a couple of times, you kind of feel like you got the hang of it.
Yep.
And it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But it does take time. It's a big time chunk.
Yeah.
To transfer between parks or resorts or whatever.
And it made me really miss Disneyland.
Yes. It's not just a walk across the bricks.
Yeah.
So anyways, but those are the resorts that we stayed at.
Yep.
They were great. And so we'll do another episode that will talk about our park days.
Yes.
And recap all of that.
Yes.
And more.
Yes.
We've got much more to talk about.
We've got so much to talk about.
But we're out of time now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at ropedrop.parkhop.
And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. We appreciate them all so much. In a year and a half, we'll read it online.
Yeah, we're getting close, guys. All right. We'll see you next week.
And we'll talk about park days.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.